Hi guys, welcome to today's screencast. The last screencast we looked at responses of the muscular system to a single sport or exercise. So hopefully you know now that they're increased blood supply, increased muscle temperature, increased muscle pliability, lactate, micro tears and delayed onset of muscle soreness. And now what we need to look at is actual adaptations of the muscular system to exercise. Now adaptations are what takes place after a long period of time since we've been actually doing a bit of training, and it allows our muscular system to change and adapt. And it's important that we know these adaptations. So again, we need to start focusing on muscular system. We're thinking about what may happen to the muscles if we train for quite some time. You guys that go to the gym, you should realise you go to the gym to get bigger, larger. So something with regards to size is going to happen to our muscles and so on. So first of all, what I want to do is give that a go. If you can fill in the blanks for me, if you pause it now, and we'll move on to the next section. So long-term adaptations, we have hypertrophy, increased tendon strength, increased number and size of mitochondria, increased myoglobin stores, increased storage of glycogen and fat, increased tolerance to lactate. These words now, mitochondria, myoglobin, glycogen and fat, these should all be kind of making sense, because we've done the energy systems. This is how the muscles adapt when it comes to an actual training program. This is what happens to our muscles. We're going to move on to the next slide. Okay, so the next slide, we're looking at specifically these three. Okay, so increased number and size of mitochondria, increased myoglobin stores, increased storage of glycogen and fats. The reason we're looking at these is because these are all actual aerobic changes. So aerobic changes are also do with using oxygen as regards to our energy systems. And you have to understand that regular aerobic exercise has muscular adaptations. So those adaptations we just saw, there as a whole with regards to our muscles, but we have some that benefit our aerobic energy system, and we have some that benefit our anaerobic. Hopefully it makes sense that the number of mitochondria is aerobic, myoglobin is aerobic, and glycogen and fat is aerobic, because you should be aware of each one of those items now. So we just quickly go through the fill in the blanks. So mitochondria, we should know now this is found in the muscle cell. It uses with the use of oxygen, it generates energy. More energy can be produced aerobically, allowing the performer to exercise for long and higher intensities whilst delaying fatigue. So if we increase that number of mitochondria, we're going to be able to perform for a longer period of time. Myoglobin, it is found in the muscle cell. Remember, it's a protein. Okay, so what it does, it actually transports oxygen to the mitochondria. You have more mitochondria, we have more myoglobin. Both these are found in the muscle, so they're already there in the muscle. There's more of them. It means we're going to have more, basically, ability or to perform a lot longer and higher intensity before fatigue sets in. So that's those two. And then finally, increased storage of glycogen and fats. The muscles store more glycogen and be able to train at higher intensities for longer. Remember, we should remember that the glycogen is stored within the liver and the muscles. This means that it's readily available to us. Now, training means athletes use fats more efficiently, especially useful when carbohydrates are low or when conserving energy in an endurance event, e.g. a marathon. So we've done that with regards to aerobic energy system. Why is it good? Well, it's because when you're highly trained, you use fats more easily, and you're actually saving your glycogen stores so that you can actually use them later on in the race, which means you can perform at a slightly higher intensity, getting ahead of the pack or having a sprint to finish. Okay, so it's really important we remember those, and they are the aerobic adaptations that take place. Can you please answer this question for me? So Sonia follows a sustained exercise program and her muscular system starts to show adaptations. One adaptation is an increase in her muscle myoglobin stores. Explain how an increase in myoglobin stores will benefit Sonia's football performance. So pause this, give that a go. Remember to have 4 marks. Okay, so myoglobin carries oxygen, should have been able to get that. Therefore, muscles increase their oxidative capacity, i.e. they can hold more oxygen and can work at higher intensities for a longer duration of the game before fatigue sets in. Simple as that. 4 marks just on something as simple as knowing what myoglobin is. Okay, the next 3 we're going to talk about are hypertrophy, increased tendon strength, increased tolerance to lactate. Now, hypertrophy, that's going to make our muscles bigger and stronger, aren't they? What's that to do with? Okay, we need that for power. What's power linked with regards to our kind of like energy systems? And anaerobic. Increased tendon strength. Tendons attach muscle to bone, so tendon is part of a muscle. So if you're going to have a larger muscle, you're going to have a larger tendon. What's that to do with? Again, anaerobic adaptations. And finally, increased tolerance to lactate. Now, we know lactate is also the lactate system. We know that lactate energy system is an anaerobic energy system. Therefore, once again, These three adaptations are also the anaerobic adaptations. So as I've just said, add the muscle is stressed during exercise, micro tears appear. During rest and recovery, protein repair these tears. This increases the size of the muscle, meaning it will become stronger and able to apply more force. Tendons increase in flexibility and strength to cope with the demands of larger and stronger muscles. That is quite clearly obvious. It makes sense. A larger muscle, it means part of the muscle, i.e. the tendon, is also going to have to increase in size and strength. It does that by increasing its flexibility. This will reduce the risk of injury. That's how it's going to affect a performer. Increased tolerance to lactate. Basically, we're able to remove lactic acid more easily or more readily, and we're able to kind of take in more oxygen, which means we're going to be able to perform for longer periods of time at higher intensity whilst delaying fatigue, because we've got an increased tolerance to lactate. So we've learned that the lactate energy system lasts about 3 minutes. Well, someone actually who's had adaptations with regards to lactate system may actually perform for slightly longer within that energy system, or at least they can perform at a higher intensity within that energy system. Question for you then: as part of Tristan's pre-season training, he has undertaken lactate threshold training. Explain how increasing Tristan's tolerance to lactate would be beneficial to his football performance. And this is worth 5 marks. So pause it and give it a go. So it makes the body more efficient at reprocessing the waste products, i.e. lactic acid. That's 1. And transporting oxygen to your blood, 1, which means it will allow him to run at maximal speed, 1, for a longer period of time, 1, whilst delaying fatigue, 1. They are kind of generic, basic responses with regards to how lactate the tolerance increase is going to improve performance. So it's really important. Now we've done the responses of the muscular system to exercise, now we've done the adaptations. It's important that you can kind of differentiate between the both and understand it with regards to a question that's going to be asked within your exam. We're going to move on. We're not going to do the additional factors. The additional factors I want you to do at home. We're going to move on to the respiratory system and do the responsive adaptations of the respiratory system, as well as look at gaseous exchange, as well as mechanisms of breathing within that process. Okay, so thanks for listening, and I'll see you soon. Bye.